what happened is I met Susan a few years ago. And right at the time that I met her, I was really just beginning my spiritual journey. And I had signed up for an I Can Do It workshop in New York City. That's a Louise Hay House workshop, where they bring together, like we do on Sacred Stories, but in person, all these spiritual teachers and healers. So I went there. I was so excited, and I had just met Susan, and I asked her if she wanted to meet me in the city and go. So she said yes. I was thrilled. So we met at the I Can Do It. Susan came. I think you came partway through the first day or something. We didn't come together, but you met me there. And they give us these journals when you get there. I think it said something like embrace the light within or something on the outside. So I sat there at this I Can Do It in New York for the first day for hours, and I probably filled half the journal. I'm just passionately writing down all this stuff that everybody's saying and, a lot of good stuff. And you came, and we finished the day out, and it was great, and you listened to some of the speakers, and I remember I was so incredibly struck because you said to me, do you remember what you said, Sue, about...
I don't know. We spoke so much.
Well, what you said, which has really struck me, and listeners, this is what really struck me about Sue, and it ties right in with our spiritual paths and journeys. You said that you realize that you don't need this anymore, that you're past this part on your journey. And I remember looking at you and just in such awe and thinking, like, you don't need this. Like, you've already learned all this. You're already past this point. Never thinking in a million years that it was really, truly such an evolution of spirit, such a process that we go through. And we really, truly keep expanding. We don't just keep doing the same thing. And you were my first glimpse into somebody who could really kind of step in her own power and go, yeah, like, this is all great, but I'm good. Like, I'm good. I know this already, and I'm ready for more.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on this journey since I've been 17. I saw, and it's not to sound, arrogant or like, oh, yeah, I know everything. I don't, obviously, and I keep growing and keep expanding daily. And with this new endeavor, with every new endeavor, we all expand. I expanded, and running a business for the last 2 years on such a larger scale, that was a set of all new lessons. But truly, I have been on this journey for a very, very long time, and that's, I guess, why when you were going through the certifications that I've been through, it's interesting because, again, they were so long ago, not that I've forgotten, but it's like, whoa, when you read the list, I was like, whoa, wow, I guess I have done a lot and time has passed, and, now I'm over 50 years old. So I guess, there has been a lot of time left, but maybe I don't want to admit that I'm this old, but, it's been a long journey and a lot of personal experience. And I constantly try to stay open to expanding and learning new things. And, I do remember at that Louise Hay, a lot of the speakers, it seemed like, they were sharing their story of just becoming and noticing. And I guess that's what prompted me to say that. But, I hope it didn't come across, definitely, oh, I got everything. I know everything. I definitely don't. But I really feel, once I went through the spiritual life coaching and the self-mastery coaching and have been practicing that material for a while now, since 2007, really. After I finished that certification, there was a very big exhale, and I thought to myself, wow, I no longer felt the urgency to go to the self-help section of bookstores to, pick. I wasn't as thirsty anymore because I found a way to go within and tap into my own insight and really trust and connect to my own spirit, higher self, to really receive instead of always going outwardly and reading material or talking to other people and getting their insights and reading their stories. Of course, I truly believe that is, it's just part of the journey. I think we all have to start there. But then I reached a point where I finally received amazing tools to be able to go inside and tap into it myself. And that's very empowering. That was a very big turning point for me, I have to say. And now that's what I try to do at my center. I try to guide people to go within. I always tell them it's not my insights. This is just my theory, my story, but it may be different for you. But my job is to guide you to go within, and that's how I treat the whole diet and food as well, because we all have different systems and we all have different lifestyle actions and habits and we all live in different parts of the country, which has different weather, which affects our systems differently as well. And we all have different body constitutions and different exercises. So there's never one diet, or it's not about, what I eat. People will say to me, well, what do you eat for breakfast? Well, what do you do? I'm like, no, this is not about me. I have different things in my life. You have different stresses and different momentums. So I try to guide people to go inward and connect to their own center so that the body can start to tell you instead of the mind. And that's a big shift for a lot of people, and
right.
for myself as well, as it was.
Right.
We have power, and just like the body has this self-healing mechanism in it, it can heal itself, but we have to kind of get out of the way in the sense of getting out of that sympathetic nervous system and getting more into the relaxation response and transferring over into the parasympathetic nervous system, where we can truly, and you can't say let go of the mind, right? Because the mind is a mechanism that thinks of thoughts. It's going to always do that. But to get out of this is what I know, and to try to shift into a knowing place,
right.
that place where I'm sure you've experienced it. So that's been a big part of my journey. And then once a person goes in, and I'll speak for myself, once I went in, then it's another whole host of, then it's a whole different playground. It's a whole different playing field.
Right.
So.
Right, and we're gonna move into that playing field throughout our conversation. But I think that you really touched on a couple really important points, and I think that, and just to kind of reiterate that, I never thought that when you said that was boastful in any way. I looked at you and I saw such a beauty in that strength of knowing, and I want to just reiterate that, and I want to reiterate that to our listeners, because it is important that we all step into our power. I'm giving you all permission to step into your power, to know, that you are moving on your journey, right? I mean, I think that, Sue, that sometimes that can kind of almost prohibit us sometimes, because many of us have learned, or we believe that, we're not supposed to be powerful, that there is a boastfulness in that. And I want everyone to know that it is, not only important, but it's beautiful. It is a beautiful strength to be able to step up and say, yeah, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm expanding, and, and I'm going to continue.
Yeah. And necessary.
And necessary.